Every once in a while, you're going to get a client that has the wrong idea about their relationship with you or has the wrong idea about massage therapy in general. I've said that communication is like 90% of the success in your practice. It's so important that you have good, clear communication skills in everything that you do. Because without a niche, if you're leaving it up to other people to decide what you do. And if somebody's just going to be a pervert or lewd or something like that, if you're not clear about who you best serve, then you're inviting people like that in because it's open to interpretation. So I really don't like this topic. I don't like that it happens in our industry. I don't like that people experience it just from inappropriate, flirty comments to sexual innuendo to straight up sexual assault and everything in between. Okay. So just now, I really hate that that happens. I don't want it to happen to anyone. And we got to talk about it because it does happen. So, number one is to be able to ensure that everything that you're doing that drives people to discover you is very, very clear what you do and what you don't do. That being said, I don't recommend that you ever come straight out and say, don't ask for sexual services here, unless I recently went to an establishment that does Thai massage. And unfortunately, people lump in Asian styles of bodywork with happy endings, with sexual favors. The truth of the matter is that that does happen in parts of the world, and it might be part of the culture. It might not be. There might be human trafficking going on, right? There's all kinds of stuff there. So I'm really not going to say that that should or shouldn't happen, or that's good or bad, or that that's a fair stereotype or not. I've just heard this from my friends who are Asian, who are body workers, that there's a particular stigma out there with that particular demographic. So I went to get a Thai massage because I like that aspect of being walked on and, the deep tissue and the stretching and all of that good stuff that Thai massage is about. They had in every single room of the facility and on the front door, it said, no sexual services are offered here. We are professional massage therapists. We have zero tolerance policy, something like that. So that's the only time I would recommend that you put that out there is if you know that you're just because of your positioning, because of your modalities, because of your heritage, that people are unfortunately going to lump you into that category. Okay. All right. So that's step number one, is just make sure that your marketing messaging is congruent to attract people that really are on board with what you do and are not confused about body work. It's really funny, I've also seen massage therapists unwittingly invite this in with very bad, cheesy, unprofessional, and cute and punny business names. I'm sorry, guys, that's just got to go. It's just got to go. If your business name is called The Good Rub, you're just opening yourself up for problems, and you really need to stop things like that. You've got to put on your pervy glasses and look at how would a lewd person look at what I'm offering. Would they be like, oh, I'm picking up what you're throwing down. I'm reading between the lines. Okay. That's with your business name. And then also the colors that you use on your website, the messaging that you utilize on your website, things like full body massage customized to meet your needs. I know that makes sense to us, but come on. A perv is going to be like, oh yeah, baby, I know what you mean. I want a full body massage. Okay. So we've got to just up level the things that we're putting out there for our messaging. And then the other piece of that is also the photos that you use. Stock photos are highly suspect. I do not recommend using stock photos because they're not real. Real screams fake, real screams fake, and fake screams I have something to hide. So don't use stock photos on your website. Schedule your own photo shoot and use real pictures of you working on actual clients. And then also headshots. Oh my gosh, headshots. That's the whole other thing. You got to have professional headshots. Everybody who's a professional in any industry has professional headshots. Okay. And really it's to convey that you're legit and people can trust you. So I've seen massage therapists have photos on their website that are like a bathroom selfie in like a spaghetti strap tank top with cleavage showing. If you're a female, that is not a professional way to present yourself. And you will unwittingly invite in people that have the wrong idea about massage therapy. Okay, so those are the things you want to think about before a client ever even arrives, is how are you actually presenting yourself? What is your messaging? What is the vibe that you're putting out there? And just make sure that you clean up your act so that you don't invite those things in. Now let's talk about how to handle clients during a session that are inappropriate. All right, so remember, this is one of my rules. I tell my coaching clients this, is don't step over anything. Do not step over anything in a session. If something happens, you want to stop, step back, take a deep breath, and say what just happened with like an incredulous tone or a questioning tone. Okay, I'm just going to use, I don't know if I can, this might get me censored from social media, but we got to talk about some of these things. Okay. The classic scenario is you have a male client that has an erection and it's totally visible through the sheet. Okay. Here's how I would handle that. I would say, it looks like you have an erection. Everything okay there? You know, what's going on? You know, but you say it like in a kind of say, so if you have an erection, you just say it and you let them respond to it. They might say, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. I promise I'm not fantasizing or just, I get relaxed and I get an erection. Okay, cool. Do you see how you're kind of giving the client a little bit of a benefit of the doubt to explain themselves, and you can move on or proceed or make a decision depending on what their response is. Okay. I think it's always best to err on the side of caution. If somebody's texting you, oh gosh, I have so many, my inbox overfloweth with screenshots of comments, inappropriate things, and you just know you can always just shut it down. You actually never have to give someone the benefit of the doubt. And especially if you feel it's just obvious what their intention is, then you can obviously just shut that down. And you just want to say something like, listen, I don't appreciate comments like that. I don't appreciate gestures like that. This session is over, get dressed, and I'm calling the police. Like if those kinds of things are illegal. Okay, you need to just inform them what you're doing is not wanted, is not appreciated. I'm offended by it, and the session is over. And you just literally walk out and you close the door. And if you need to, you could call the police, could have somebody come in if you feel unsafe, and then you literally ban that person from ever booking with you again. Okay. I take that really, really seriously because I've unfortunately heard of tragic and horrible and traumatizing experiences that happen. And the last thing I want is for you to feel like you can't say anything. Absolutely speak up. Absolutely say something. And also, if part of your response is to freeze, because a lot of people do that, it's not just fight or flight response, it's also freeze. Some people just freeze. And if you find that you're freezing, it's completely fine to just be frozen for a minute. And as soon as you get your wits about you and say, I cannot believe that you just said that, or I cannot, like, say the thing that's on your mind. Just blurt it out. Put your brain on loudspeaker. I don't tolerate being victimized by those kinds of things. Blurt it out, and or just simply walk out the door. Call the police, take action, whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself in a safe place. And I do also have to say this. If you work for an employer that does not back you up on this, get the hell out of there. It's not okay. Again, I'm speaking in places where prostitution and sex work is not legal and it is not part of massage. I realize there might be some exceptions to that, but generally speaking, for massage therapists, we're not sex workers and we're not prostitutes. If you have a situation, let's say you work at a franchise or something like that, and you are solicited or assaulted by a client, you definitely go through the channels to report that. And if your employer does nothing about that, I would hope that you would escalate that through every single possible proper thing. Call the news, call the governmental agencies that regulate those businesses. Please be an advocate for yourself. And if you need any help with that, please, reach out. We want to support you, your colleagues. There's nobody in this industry that I'm aware of, that I work with, that loves those kinds of things. And always reach out to your colleagues and your friends and supporters to get the kind of emotional support that you need. And of course, reach out for counseling, therapy, anything like that. If the experience was traumatic for you, make sure that you get the support that you need. It's just not okay that those things happen. And the reality is that they do. So I hope that helps you in all facets of what to do when you have inappropriate clients.